So, Cameron, Brianne and I were actually just chatting before we started about the right time to talk to your kids about the birds and the bees.
Okay.
What do you think about that? What's your perspective on that?
Here we go. Here we go. Honestly, it's tricky because I think in a way, this is my opinion only, obviously, in a way it's very age dependent on what you tell them. So from my perspective, I try to always be honest. So I try to give a little bit of truth. When my kids were younger, my daughter asked, my son didn't, but when she was like, I think 3, she asked about it. And so I would include things like, babies come from the hospital. So we get the babies from the hospital, hospitals involved, and we talk about, and I keep it truthful. I just don't give the whole truth. So I don't know how, And then when she was a little bit older, it came up again, maybe before 5, maybe 5 or so, came up again, and we talked about a seed and an egg, and the baby grows inside, and I gave more truth to the picture. And then, so maybe I'm avoiding your question, but when it really comes to like going through the ins and outs of it, I would say that maybe around like 6 or 7. Mm-hmm. And we used the book. It was helpful to use the book Where I Come From, I think is the name of it. Mm-hmm. And so that's my take, because, and if it seemed like they were ready, my son was ready. It seemed like they were interested and they were open to like learning about it. And at that point, so I think usually, 6 to 8 years old or something like that is when we brought out the old Where Do I Come From book, and then you kind of get the full picture, the whole truth.
Right.
What do you guys think? Did I pass? Like, where do I fall in the parenting guidelines here?
No, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of I feel like my son was probably like 8 or 9.
Okay.
And then like around that time when he officially found out, and also they learn in school. They learn things in school. So we had to officially say it. But I always used to say that the babies came from storks, so I kind of lied a little bit.
Oh, you did. Well, it's like Santa Claus. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, Santa Claus is real for those that are listening.
For the little ones, for me.
I'm just saying, like, for some people, some people think that Santa Claus is real, and they think it's a fake person.
Well, I'm learning. My daughter's only 1, so now I have a couple years to pick up some advice.
So, on that note, I heard, and I don't know if they're old enough to ask, that's when you can volunteer, partial truths to it, because we did our whole recon on this to make sure we weren't like going to cause more therapy in their teens. But if they don't ask, then, and then you can kind of, I think, 7, 8, 9.
Totally.
By the way, I have no authority, so that's just my take on it.